Hello friends, today we are going to take a very interesting important topic, and I think all of you this topic will be very close to your heart. How to handle the CA objecting, how to handle the CA objecting to life insurance for their clients. Generally what happens is, specifically if you look at the HNI clients, the real high net worth clients, and also the clients who are upper middle class, generally when you go to talk to them about insurance, they would like to discuss with the chartered accountant, or generally the chartered accountant always asks them, they should discuss any kind of thing with them, so that of course it's very genuine that they would like to protect them and understand the implications for the client. And therefore it's normally a tendency, or it's normally a routine practice, that most of the clients will talk to their CA when they want to take life insurance. Now the chartered accountant will look at this very objectively, and he will not be looking at it emotionally. He will be looking at it objectively. He'll be looking at it logically, and therefore that's the difference. The CA looks at things logically. We make it magical for people, because what we do is really magical. Now what we need to do is, so what the CA, what the client will do, he will tell you, okay fine, I will just talk to my CA and I will revert back to you. He will talk to the CA, and of course he'll send all the illustrations and everything to the CA. The CA will look at all that, and maybe there are CAs who says, you don't need this life insurance, why do you need it? It's a loss. And lot of things which is built in the mind of the CA, that insurance definitely is a loss making proposition, and why should somebody go for it? And therefore he'll advise, or if he sees the illustration, if he sees the premium too high, then he generally doesn't feel that any kind of this is justified. But what happens is that if he thinks like that, now again the customer will come back to me and tell me, my chartered accountant has objected to this investment, to this policy, because he feels it is not kind of relevant to me. What would you do? It's a very difficult proposition. Tell me how many of us will be able to go and talk to the CA and really convince him? Very few of us, not that it doesn't happen, but very few of us. But again, what I want to tell you, and which I am trying to make it very clear in every video, I am not talking about discussion on the same level of the objection. The objection comes at a certain context, at a certain discussion level. Our handling that objection should not be at that same context. You need to move out of it, you need to go out of it, because otherwise the CA will have a position, your client will take that same position, you will have a position. Both will not come to a certain kind of agreement or alignment on that, and therefore you will never be able to break this jinx. But I'll tell you something very interesting what you should do. So what you need to do is, you need to take a 100 rupee stamp paper. You take a 100 rupee stamp paper, and what you do is you type out a letter in that 100 rupee stamp paper, as if the chartered accountant is writing to his client. Okay, so let's say the chartered accountant name is Mr. Jain, the client's name is Mr. Dias, and the agent name is Sonal. So we'll take this kind of example. So what the letter which will be typed on the 100 rupee stamp paper is, you will be typing this letter with some blanks and giving it to your client, and then the client has to give it to a chartered accountant and get it signed. Okay, so when the chartered accountant actually reads this, how does this letter go and what is the content of this letter is very interesting. So Mr. Jain is writing this letter to his client Mr. Dias, and he writes it, okay, so I am the chartered accountant of I am Mr. Jain, chartered accountant of Mr. Dias, and I have been taking care of all his finances, his investment and income tax for the last about 7-8 years. I am in complete understanding of his current situation, his current financial situation, and whatever that is requirement of his, and therefore I have a full understanding because I manage all this based on that whole understanding. Recently Sonal, Mr. Dias's agent, approached Mr. Dias with some proposal for life insurance. Mr. Dias understood all that and forwarded it to me, and I went through that whole proposal and illustration, and after studying it, I find that it doesn't make any sense to my client Mr. Dias, and therefore I have suggested to Mr. Dias that he should not buy this insurance, because since I am well aware of his whole financial situation, and this proposal or this illustration does not match or does not fit into the requirement of Mr. Dias, and therefore I would like to ask Mr. Dias to reject this proposal, and that he need not buy it. And the last paragraph, Mr. Jain writes, so I also would like to affirm and promise that in case if something happens unfortunately to Mr. Dias, I would like to take full responsibility for all the financial affairs of his family after his demise, and all that responsibility will be taken care of by me. And because I have completely understood his situation, and I am very knowingly in full sense I am asking him not to buy this insurance and make this investment. And if at all because of this there is any situation or issue where his family has some financial problem, then I will make good that, and I assure and I promise that the standard of living of Mr. Dias's family will not be affected, because I will be taking care of all that. And ask, and then there will be a name of Mr. Jain there, and he has to sign. Now imagine when he is okay with the first two parts of the letter, do you think he'll be okay with the third part? I have no problem with my to my clients, and I tell clients, if there is a Santa Claus, or if there is a CA or even a Santa Claus who is ready to take care of your family in case something unfortunately happens, and if there is some mismatch in the in the money that they are receiving for maintaining their standard of living, I have no problem. I just want that they should have somebody who will promise this. If they have somebody to promise, it could be a chartered accountant, it could be a relative, it could be anybody else. If there is a godfather that he has and he is ready to take care of the family's future finances requirement, I have no problem. And then you make the chartered accountant sign. Believe you me, no chartered accountant will sign. Nobody wants to take responsibility of the consequences of that decision. Very important. The chartered accountant will not be ready to take to take responsibility for the consequences of his advice. By doing this 100 rupees stamp paper, I am asking him to take responsibility for the consequences of his decision. And if he is not ready to take that, I tell my client, I have no problem. Either the CA has to sign, or you have to buy the policy, because then once you buy the policy, I am giving you a written guarantee that I will take care of your family, and your family will be well taken care of in case something unfortunately happens to you. And that is how you should handle it. Have 100 rupees stamp papers. What I want you to do is, please, we will be giving you a mail ID we'll give you a mail ID in the description. Please drop us a mail if you want the format of this particular 100 rupees stamp paper matter. We will send it to you. You can just fill in the blank. So every time you meet a client, you have to just fill the name of the chartered accountant, the name of the client, what policy it is, and just some basic information, and just print it on a 100 rupees stamp paper and send it to your client, and ask your client to get signature from the chartered accountant. So that is one of the benefit that I would like to give you for watching this video. So please go to the description, send us a mail, and we will definitely send you by mail this format of this particular letter, which you can get it signed from the CA, and no client will after that object, or no CA will object to you suggesting life insurance to your clients. Also friends, if you like this content or if you like this idea, please put it in the comment box. It's very important, very motivating for us. Our motivation will come from you recognizing the quality of the content that we are giving. Also write down, put down your other objections which you would like us to handle. Also, if you have actually done or actually personally gone and done this and given this asked your client to take a signature on a 100 rupees stamp paper, from his client, if you have done it and if you have been successful to get the policy, all please also put it again in the comment box, so that we are very happy that you are really implementing and taking all this. And lastly, last but not the least, please subscribe to our channel, because we are going to come out with lot of very interesting material, very classic material, which is not in the domain of insurance anywhere. This is something which is created. It's from my book, The Objection Overruled, and you may not get this information everywhere in this way, and put it in this dramatization, because dramatization is very important, because objection handling is an art and a drama. Drama is about your body language, the way you pitch and the way you talk and the way you question, and science is about the content of the video. So hope you have liked it. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.